Okay. All set. Okay. Hello, everybody. So, over the next couple months, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to be entertaining. Could be that you get a last-minute invite to have go to your boss's house on the weekends. Could be meeting your new boyfriend or girlfriend's parents. Maybe you have to entertain someone from out of town at your house, and they're all examples of ways you're going to have to impress. You're going to be nervous. You're going to want to get things right. So you'll get your house ready, clean it up, figure out what you're going to serve everybody to eat, and then, of course, the next stop would be to go to the liquor store. And typically, everybody thinks about getting wine, which makes sense. That's very popular. But most upper-income drinkers, they choose wine. That's their, beer. They choose beer as their drink of choice. So it's not as common to want to drink wine. Actually, beer is much more common, especially in America. And of those 82% of the people that drink, 41% are going to choose beer over everything else. So they're not going to drink wine, they're not going to drink mixed drinks, they're going to drink beer. And that adds up to about 7 billion gallons just served in the US alone, which is an insane amount of alcohol, an insane amount of drinks. But basically, what that tells you is that you really want to consider this a little bit more when you go to the liquor store and you're having people over and to entertain, is to think about the selection that you're going to choose. So what you want to do is not just think of the average, run-of-the-mill, everyday, Bud Light type of things. You're going to want to think of something different to impress your guests. So there's several types of beers. One would be ales, golden ales, light ales. That would be like a pale ale, a wheat ale. These beers go with super hot foods, so they're a very good complement for that type of food. You're also going to want to think of things like a summer ale. Those are really popular for the light beers, and they go good with lighter fare like vegetarian dishes or delicate dishes like pastas, things of that nature. So those are really good pairing. The next thing would be an amber, golden ales. These are the pretty average beers that you find everywhere, and they go great with American food, basically pizza, fried food, barbecue. So that's why they're really popular too, because they go with everything. The other thing too is that you could think of is this is like the IPAs that you hear of, or Pilsners, things like that. And those are really good too, because there's local places that brew these, like Trinity Brew House right in Providence. They're really popular, and they have a couple that are really good. The next thing would be lagers. This is what you think of like a Sam Adams type of beer. Again, very popular. You can go visit the brewery. And they go with heavier beers, things like meats with like gravies and sauces. They're also good for like pretzels, match with that. And they actually can go also really well with spicy things like a pumpkin pie, which sounds weird, but it goes good together. And then the next thing would be a stout. This would be things like a porter or imperial porter you've heard of, things of that nature. That's the Guinness type of beer. And these go, oddly enough, really well with oysters. It's strange, I think, but it does go really well together. It actually is a good dessert beer too. It pairs really well with chocolate. And I think it's very popular for people to have a glass of wine and some chocolate, but actually you could try a dark beer and that'll go well too. So this also is something that goes good with like heartier type foods like shepherd's pie. Like you think heavy food, it also goes good with the heavy beer. So what you want to do is be considering how you want to balance and emphasize the flavors of the food you'll be serving. You should consider going to local breweries. There's a lot in the New England area. Also, they have tours and tastings, which are really good too, because you can sample them for free and get an idea of what you like. Another thing is a lot of the bigger liquor stores are doing a lot of tastings too, and they also offer where you can mix up 6-packs. You can try to get an idea of like, do I like this and that, and you can prepare before you have people over and the next time you're entertaining. And then also you can brew your own for a special occasion. There's a lot of places that allow that. You need a couple weeks to get it ready, but it is something to consider. And definitely think about things that are outside the box, like try new things. Like there's this banana bread beer which someone brought over. I thought it sounded crazy, but you know what? It tastes like banana bread. It's incredible. I was gonna bring some, but I think of drinking in class. So, so basically, the other thing to consider too is you don't want to be pairing just heavy foods with heavy foods. You want to try to do some contrasting. You should also think of matching, the type of food you're serving. So if you have Mexican food, matching a Mexican beer like a Corona or Sol, perfect option. And finally, one major rule not to forget if you're doing a whole beer party, beer dinner, definitely save the heavier beers for the end because you'll put your guests to sleep. And I have a handout which helps you at home. That's all.